So on the next page here, we have B, D, F, H, and J. And so again, we go back to the Greek numeral system. So I pull up my Greek numeral system over here. And I just got to figure out these what these symbols represent. So I look at this. This is the ones, the tens, and the hundreds. So this little epsilon looking like thing, which is right here, should be 5. So I'll put a 5 underneath it. The pi should be in the tens column. So I come over here and look for pi. There's pi, and it's 80 things. So I put an 80 there. And this phi, come up here, look for phi, and that's right here. All right, and that's 500 things. So I have 500. And I simply add these numbers together to get my answer of 585. The next one, the Roman numeral system. So again, you can pull up the Roman numeral system. It's down here at the bottom. And I look, and M stands for 1,000 things, so I have 1,000. And then I have a C, which is 100 things, and so I have 100. And then I have an L, which is 50 things. And then I have 2 tens, right, 2 X's, which are 2 tens, so I have 20 things. A V is a 5, and 2 I's is 2. And you simply add these things all together. And so this Roman numeral represents 1,170. Erase this. Okay, do it again. 1,170. Right, 50, 20, 77 things. Right, 5 plus 2. Again, you can just take 1,000 plus 100 plus 50 plus 20 plus 5 plus 2, and you should get 1,177 things. Okay, the next number is represented in base 7. Right, so it's in the base 7 numeral system. So the idea, just like our base 10, right, you have a 1 spot, you have a 7 spot, and then this one is in the 7 squared spot, which is 49, and then that 5 is in the 7 cube spot. Let's make that cube better. Cube. So what I have are 5 7 cubes, so 5 times 7 cubed, plus I have 1 7 squared, and then plus 4 7s, and then plus 1 times 1. Okay. And so I can take out my calculator and crunch this number. So I have 5 times 7 raised to the 3 plus 1 times 7 raised to the 2 plus I have 4 times 7 and then plus a 1 times 1. And I get my answer of 1,793. Alright, so 5141 base 7 represents 1,793 things. Right, now we're back into the Roman numeral system. So again, I can pull up a system on the right hand side down here, and I know again M is 1,000, C is 100, but D is 500. So because C is written before D and C is a smaller number over here, see, C is 100 and D is 500. This is not 600 things, it's actually 400 things, right? You subtract the C and D. L is 50 things, this is 10 things, and again, same situation here. The I is smaller than the phi, which is 5, and so this is 4 things. And you simply add them together to get your answer. So I have 1,464 things there. Right. The last problem, this is the Egyptian numeral system. So you come back up here, we can look at it. Let me pull it down a little bit. All right, so here's the Egyptian numeral system. And you just got to figure out what these symbols, what numbers they represent. So the astonished man is 1,000,000. So I have 1,000,000 things there. I have 2 tadpoles, so if you look at what a tadpole represents, one is 100,000, so 2 will give me 200,000. And then you can look at for what a lotus flower represents, but that's just 1,000 things. A scroll is 100, and I have 2 of them, so that's 200 things. Again, I have to erase this. So that's 200 things. Heel bone is 10, and finally 2 vertical staffs is 2. And you simply add these numbers together to get your final answer. And so this is equal to 1,200,000 and 201,212. Okay, let's take a look at the next problem. Alright, so on the next problem, what we want to do is we want to convert this 1017 to the given numeral system. So how do we write 1117, hold on, 1017, so 1017 in the Egyptian numeral system. So the idea is you just pull up the Egyptian numeral system and you figure out, well, how do you represent, the largest one, which would be 1,000. You draw a lotus flower. So I'll draw this little lotus flower, something like that. And then I need to use 17 more things, and so I look over here, I don't need a scroll, but I need probably a heel bone, because that's 10 things. So here's a heel bone. And then I have 7 things left, so I'll draw 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 vertical staffs. In the Babylonian numeral system, this is a bit harder, so I'll do 1,017 things. What makes it harder is that first you have to convert this number, which is in base 10, to base 60. So the idea is relatively simple. You have a 1 spot, you have a 60 spot, and you have a 60 squared spot, but you don't need the 60 squared spot. You don't need it because 60 squared is too big. It's 3,600. And so the first question you want to answer is how many 60s go into 1017? And to figure that out, you can just use your calculator. So we pull the calculator up here and move it over. And so what I can do is just take 1017 and divide it by 60. And I find that 16 60s go into 1,117. And so by writing a 16 in this spot, I don't have 16 things, I have 16 60s. So right now I've just represented how many things? 16 times 60. So I've just represented 960 things by putting a 16 in this spot. And so how many things do I have left? We'll take the original number, right, 1017, take off 960, and so I still have left 57 things to represent, so I put a 5, 7 right there. Alright, so 16 60s and 57 ones, if you add those together, you should get 1017. And then I can convert this into the Babylonian numeral system by simply looking up the symbol. So I got to look up 16. So I come over here and there's 16. So it's a little triangular wedge like that with 6 vertical staffs. There's 5. There's 6. And then a nice big space, and I got to look for 57. Now 57 is all the way down here, so there's 57, so I got to draw it. And so it looks like a nice big space, and so you have 3 like this, 3 triangular wedges, and then you have to have 7 staffs, so that looks like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. Alright, so this is 16 60s and then 57 ones, which was used to represent the number 1117 in the Babylonian numeral system.